sign in or না ওকে ঠিক আছে কী করতে হবে এখানে So we'll start with our prayer. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Aviravirmayedhi. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim. Om, O Bhagavad Gita, with which Partha was enlightened by the Lord Narayana himself, and which was incorporated in the Mahabharata by the ancient sage Vyasa. The Blessed Mother, the destroyer of rebirth, showering down the nectar of Advaita, and consisting of 18 chapters. Upon thee, O Bhagavad Gita, O loving Mother, I meditate. So before we start, see what has been said here. So this Bhagavad Gita is the instrument of enlightenment. With this, Sri Krishna enlightened Arjuna. This is instrument of enlightenment. Knowledge empowers, but knowledge also enlightens us. If we have knowledge of sense perception, how we interact in this world, then we can do in a better way. But this is pertaining to the worldly affairs. But when the same knowledge, the higher knowledge of self, that removes all the shackles that we feel as of now. That's why it is instrument of enlightenment. This is not simple thing, simple book, no. This contains something which is the instrument of removal of all our suffering, and that happens by the enlightenment. So this Bhagavad Gita should be studied very, very seriously and with sincerity. So with which Partha was enlightened by the Lord Narayan himself, not ordinary person, not ordinary teacher. Lord himself. So whatever words are used here, these words were used by Lord himself. And this is our great fortune that it has been preserved and it was handed over to us. So we are really grateful to our previous teachers. That's why before we start anything, we offer our pranams to our teachers. So this was incorporated in Mahabharata, so great epic. It has many stories, many incidents, many situations where one is confused how one should interact, how should he behave in this world. And those situations are depicted in such a way that then what is the way one should behave, that becomes clearer. And this was recorded in the Mahabharata by ancient sages Vyasa. Vyasa is great soul. Not only he compiled this, but he also composed Brahma Sutra and in many Puranas. Puranas are different kind of scriptures where the loftiest philosophy is depicted in understandable storyline so that the principles are easily understandable. Those are Puranas. So sometimes Bhagavata is also called Mahapurana, but actually it is Itihasa because this happened like this. Iti asa. So Itihasa is like history, that the similar word is Itihasa. So destroyer of rebirth, this is the instrument not only enlightens us, but it helps us not to get ensnared in this birth and death and birth and death and suffering, endless suffering. So this is the instrument of destroyer of rebirth. Nectar of Advaita. We see many. Any sensible person would say that we don't see many. We don't see one here. We see many. So this is destroyer of rebirth, showering down the nectar of Advaita, and consisting of 18 chapters. Upon thee, O Bhagavad Gita, O loving mother, I meditate. Now what is this? What is this knowledge by which one gets enlightenment? In 13th chapter, we have already discussed, but you see, we forget. Everybody forgets. So it is refreshing our memory. In 13th chapter, two things are discussed. One is called Kshetra, field. One is called Kshetrajna, knower of field. So field means here, this body. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetram ityavidhiyate. This body is... So, do you have a body? If I ask this question, you'll say, yes, Swami, we have bodies. So we understand this body. And do you know this body? That you have a body, this knowledge is also there. So one is the knower of field, and the one is field itself. So Kshetra and Kshetrajna. But there then he said, I am the knower of all bodies. I alone, not many. You may think that you have separate body. You are different knower. I am different knower. So this is the confusion. We think you are separate, I am separate. And this whole world is various differences. Because of various differences, we find this. But Sri Krishna says, first he says, idam shriram kaunteya kshetramitya vidhyate etat yo vetti tat viduh. That means he who knows this, he is the knower of body. Etat yo vetti etad yo vetti tam prahu kshetragya iti tadvida. He, the body, this body, O son of Kunti, is called kshetra, the field. And he who knows it is called kshetragya. By those who know of them, kshetra and kshetragya. So these two are confused, or fused rather, not confused, fused. So much fused that if somebody touches my body, I say, why you have touched me? So this confusion that I am the body, this has happened. Then kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. I am the knower of all fields. And he who knows kshetra and kshetragyanyor jnanam, who knows the field and knower of field, yat jnanam, yattaj jnanam, tam itim matamam. That is the knowledge. Me do thou also know, O descendant of Bharata, to be kshetragya, in all kshetras. So God alone is the knower of all kshetras, fields. God, again, when we say God, that means we think somewhere else. No. He's within us. We perceive all the time. He alone, in and through him alone, all our functions are happening. It is not that God is sitting somewhere else. No. He is sitting within us. Ishvaraha sarvabhutanam riddeshe arjuna dishtati. So he is the only knower of field. In all kshetra. The knowledge of kshetra and kshetragya is considered by me to be the knowledge. So what is knowledge? What is knowledge? Kshetra and kshetragya. Field and knower of field. See, why I am going through this? It has a purpose. Then only we understand what is the next chapter. So, me do thou also know, O descendant of Bharata, to be kshetragya. Kshetragya means knower of body, knower of field. So, God alone is the knower of field. God means not separate from us. God is within us. In and through God we are interact. I am seeing you because of God. You see me or you hear me, it is because of God. So God is not separate from us. This should be clear first. So, the knowledge of field and knower of field is considered by me to be the knowledge. So what is knowledge? To know what is the field and what is the knower of field. If we can understand what is this field, this body, and what is the knower of field, that is knowledge. That will empower, that will enlighten. Very important. If I know what is this field, what is this body, and if I know who knows him, knows this body, this is knowledge. And this will empower me in such a way that it will release me from all afflictions, all bondages, all boundaries, limitations. So this knowledge is knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge of field and knower of field. This is knowledge. Now what is this field? So he's first introduced. This is knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge of this body, field, and knowledge of knower of this field. So now he should now explain what is this body. So he says, Tat Kshetra Yadrikcha Yadvikari Yadasyat Sachayu Yat Prabhavascha Tat Samasena Meshrinu. Now he introduces again. He says, let me tell you what is this, what is Kshetra, what is field, how what is the Kshetra, what its properties are, what its modifications are, and edifices arise, what effects arise from what causes, and also who he is and what his powers are, that hear from me in brief. Now he is going to explain what is this body, what is this field. Say, like new few people have come, so like let me just. People think that in the beginning, what is the all we understand this. No, this is the background. On that, we prepare the edifice. So background is very important. So, what is knowledge? Knowledge is knowledge of this body and knowledge of the knower of this body. This is knowledge. Just now we have read this. So what are these? For 5 bhutas, panch bhutas. And ego, ahankar, buddhi, intellect, and abhyakta. Abhyakta means unmanifested. And 10 senses, 5 sense organs, eyes, ears, etc. And 5 organs of actions. So these 10 senses. And 5 the sense objects. For seeing, we must have some objects. Then only see beautiful rose or wonderful sound. So senses and sense objects. Then ichha, dvesha, samuthena, sanghatas, chetana, adhriti. Ichha, desire. Not only this is material, infrastructure, hardware. What is software? The software is desire. If the body is there, then desire. Desire to eat, desire to see, desire to listen. And also it will have aversion and also attraction. We want to see good thing, want to eat the best in the universe. So this is because of our desire. Ichha, dvesha, sukham, dukkham. And because of this interaction, there must be some suffering and some joy also. Joys and suffering. Joyful and sorrowful experiences that must be there. Sanghata. Sanghata means the interaction. Sanghata means like when there's 2 bodies are there, then there's interaction. Chetana, awareness, and dhriti, and the holding power. These are the this field. So this is very, very important. And Sri Krishna, Lord Himself, this is not possible for any other person to tell in such a plain and simple word. I'll read this so that it will be easier. The great elements, so 5 elements. What are Kshiti, Aptis, Marut, Bom? That means earth, this solid, liquid, gaseous, and then energy and the space. This is what it is. So 5 elements. Then egoism. Until or unless I am experiencing, I am speaking, I am seeing. So the person who, or the process by which it is being seen, the instrument by which it is identified, I am, that's ego. I am. When we get up, right from there it starts, I am, I am, I am, I am. So this is ego. Egoism. Intellect. And intellect also is part of internal organ. We have external organ, 5 organs, and we have internal organ. Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar. Mind, intellect. Chitta is mind stuff, that means the space in which all these are happening. See, I'm thinking, I'm talking, all these are happening in one place, that's called Chitta. What is the nature of that Chitta? It is like consciousness. It is reflected consciousness. Within me, there is consciousness awareness. From there, a fraction of that comes, identifies, I am this, I am this, I am body, I am Swami Chandrasekharananda. That's ego. So, Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, and Ahamkar. Ahamkar means I am, I am. So, all this is this called 4 internal organ. Antaha Karanam. 2 kinds of Karan instrument. One is outer Bahya Karanam, Antaha Karanam, this internal organ. So, Ichha Dvesha, desire, Ichha Dvesha Sukham Dukkham. So 5 great elements, egoism, intellect, and also unmanifested. That means pura, mula prakriti. Unmanifested means it is not differentiated. Part of it is there. Mula prakriti. And 10 senses, 1 mind, and the 5 objects of the senses: desire, hatred or aversion, pleasure, pain, and aggregate, intelligence, fortitude. The Kshetra has been thus briefly described with its modifications. This we have gone through many times, but still this is a self-study. So it is better to go through again and again. It is research. If a person does research, he knows something of that. But then he explores there, he finds new things. So that's why this has importance. Now, the problem is, this is field, and knower of field, he is very... And then again this, after that Bhagavan said, how to get rid of it, that we are not going there. But as of now, we feel bound. Just close your eyes and think about it. Within you, there is someone or some entity who is free, who feels that I can do anything I like. And at the same time, there is another entity who thinks that I am bound. And this is so complicated, as it were, it looks like it's very complicated, that I cannot fathom. And that is why we are bound. Because I cannot solve, so I am bound. It is like I am helpless. So there are two entities within. One is free, one is without any blemish, one is pure, Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta Sabhava. Nitya means eternal, which never says that he is going to die. Nitya. Shuddha is pure. Even if you ask a criminal, he will say, no, no, I am good, I am good. I am not bad. You ask any criminal. In the spur of moment, I did so, but I am pure. This is our internal experience. And all the time, eternal. Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, I am fully intelligent. You ask, you tell anyone, he would say, yes, 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 I know. Because the knowledge is within us. And we feel it. It's not a story or somebody told me to say this. No. We feel that we know. Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha and Mukta, I am free. I am free all the time. I mean, after saying this, then again I am bound. So this is the problem. A free soul is bound. It's ridiculous. How free soul can be bound? But this is the story. So now the task is very difficult. Sri Krishna, but he so deftly, he did it so nicely, unthinkable. How the self who is unattached, eternal, intelligent, Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, and always enlightened, feels that I am bound, I am limited, I am of no use. So why this happens and how one get rid of it? This is the topic. So in this chapter, now only we are touching this chapter. In this chapter of Kshetra, and the 14th chapter, the three gunas, chapter of three gunas. So one thing is clear, that this joining of body field and knower of field is not under what we identify as me, not under me. This happened. So it is better to say that it is under Ishvara. This happened by the Lord himself. If you see a painting, you may see various characters, or a story, various characters. Those characters cannot interact with them. Though they can converse, but all conception happened by the author of those characters. It's not their invention. So this is under God's influence, God's because of God this is happening. So this joining of Kshetra and Kshetrajna, field and knower of field, this joining of these two happened because of Ishvara. So in this chapter, this we have understood. Second, how these three gunas bind. Three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. How these bind us with the material world, with the created world, with the projected world. I'll give another example. Example of your dream. You go to sleep, you lie down, all of a sudden you fall asleep without your knowing. You cannot go consciously to your dream. But then it projects, and then you identify with that dream. You are part of it. So all this happened, it's not under your control. Ishwar Ichha. That means God's will. And then the body that you hold in your dream and you identify with something. So that is what? What are the causes? Why you are bound there? So this is called just sattva, rajas, and tamas. How you are bound with your body. Here, now. How we are bound with our bodies is because of sattva, rajas, and tamas. You are beyond all bondage. Nothing can bind you. But still you feel I am bound. So this is the problem. And why it is? Okay, you can see this. If you stand in front of a wheel and it's whirling, you'll also feel like, though you are separate, but still you will get influenced. You will be induced. Okay, you stand in front of a river where it's current. After a certain time, you'll feel that you are moving also. Though you are static, you are not moving. This is our experience. So this happens because of the action in the Prakriti, in nature. And nature is consisting of three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. It happens like this. See, like when there is a movie here, and when they are fighting, say hero and villain, you also fight. When you identify with it, but you are completely separate, nothing is related with you. This is our experience. How this happens? Something is happening there. And sometimes it's lighted, something lighted, and something in action, and something dull. But somehow it influences us so much that we are bound. We feel bound. We are one with the hero. And with his agony we weep. With his success we elate. Though nothing belongs to us, it's only a story. You know that. You pay from your pocket and you are fooled because of this story. But this happens. Same thing is happening here. So three gunas, how it binds. I quickly read because we have gone through many times. But still this is worth exploring. And why it should be done so? If we understand this correctly, then God says, He becomes like me. Mama sadharmam agata. Idam jnanam vapasritya mama sadharmam agyata. Sarge api nopajayante pralaye na vetanti cha. They who, having devoted themselves to this knowledge, have attained to me. Again, read me. They who, having devoted themselves to this knowledge, devoted to this knowledge means who perfects this knowledge, who understands this knowledge, who is established in this knowledge, have attained to my being. It's not a small thing. You'll become God. And I am not saying, God Himself is saying, they who, having devoted themselves to this knowledge, He's giving certificate before you appeared in the examination, have attained to my being, not like me. You will become me. Challenge. They who, having devoted themselves to this knowledge, have attained to my being, are neither born at the time of creation, nor are they troubled at the time of dissolution. Anything can happen to this world. Nothing belongs to you. Even anything can happen to your body. Body does not belong to you. You'll be established in that knowledge so perfectly that nothing can touch you. This is the reward. And he told this frankly and freely. He declared. And reward is such, that he knows better advertisement. Sri Krishna knows better advertisement. If you master this, then you'll become me. Not like me. You'll become me. Mama sadharma magata. You'll attain to my quality, my dharma, my nature. You'll attain to my nature. And when the creation happens, sargyapi nopajayante pralayena vetanti cha. You will not be troubled by anything. God is not troubled by anything. Again, God is not there here. So in 40, should not go again and again, but just what it discussed. It is discussed how these three qualities, three gunas bind us. And when one is more than other, that means predominant, then what happens? All these are explained all the time. Okay, let me read it quickly, otherwise you won't understand this. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat. Of these, sattva became, because of its stainlessness, luminous and free from evil, binds, O sinless one. So, when you are reading a good book or seeing a wonderful scenery, you are very pure. You feel that. Then you feel joy, and you feel luminous and free from evil, binds our sinless. That also binds us. Why it binds us? Because it's purity. And we are attached with that. That's why it binds. By attachment to happiness and by attachment to knowledge, we get bind. Rajo ragatmakam vidhi. Know rajas to be the nature of passion, giving rise to thirst and attachment. So when you are passionate, you want to do something, you are, workaholic, and you are engaged in the world. So that also binds you. But, and no tamas to be born of ignorance. Sometimes you are indolent, you are lethargic, stupefying all embodied beings. It binds fast, O descendant of Bharata. If we know this binds, that means I can separate myself so that I am not bound. While reading a good book, I know, oh, I like this, very nice. But then we need to cultivate that separateness. Viveka buddhi. I am separate than this attachment to effulgence or goodness. I am different from that. This cultivation of separateness. So, and no tamas to be born of ignorance, stupefying all embodied beings. It binds fast, O descendant of Bharata, by miscomprehension, indolence, and sleep. And when one is with sattva, then what he feels? Sattvas and rajas and tamas. Sattva attaches to happiness and rajas to action. And while tamas, verily, shrouding discrimination, attaches to miscomprehension. And sattva arises, so these are the various aspects that Sri Krishna said this in about 14 shlokas. What happens when sattva is in rise? What happens when rajas in rise? What happens when tamas in ascendant? So this is because why? We identify with those situations, then we are bound. It may be pleasing. It may be, it gives like when one sleeps, he also enjoys a little. But in the beginning, it may give some joy, but ultimately it is not good for the person. In the beginning, it looks like it is amrita. Yattadagre amritopamam pariname vishamiva. But later, it is like poison. But embodied being, they enjoy that poison also. That's why they are bound. Lobha pravrittirarambha karmanam ashrama spriha. Greed, activity, the undertaking of actions, unrest, longing, these arise when rajas is predominant. And when tamas, darkness, inertness, miscomprehension, and delusion, these arise when tamas is predominant. And when through every sense in this body the light of intelligence shines, then it should be known that sattva is predominant. So these are all we have gone through. And what happens if when you are in sattva, in ascendant, and you pass away, then what happens? You go to higher lokas. So all these effects, or all the effects are being explained here. So after this, now comes the reality. Nanyam gunebhya kartaram yada drashtanupashyati gunebhyascha param vetti madbhavam sodhigacchati. How one can attain the state of God, similar to God, or as God's dharma, one feels that he has attained to that state. How? Nanya gunebhya kartaram yada drashtanupashyati gunebhyascha param vetti madbhavam sodhigacchati. When the seer beholds no agent other than the gunas. As of now, who works? I'm working, I'm speaking, I'm listening, I'm seeing. But the knower of self knows it's not me. It's all the three gunas acting. I got just influenced. You are seeing a movie. You are not doing everything, the fighting, etc. This is happening because some pixels are being lighted and dimmed, and transition. And you are thinking that, oh, there is a story going on. Somehow you got influenced by it. And then you are suffering. Even a child would laugh at us. If something is happening, or why he is weeping. But this happens. And this same thing is happening here. I am not at all attached with this body-mind complex. But all the time we weep. It's like this movie. No connection at all with me, but still I weep. No connection at all with this. Why I weep? We don't know. We know. What is that? Aviveka. Not getting separated. See, when we get attached with it, then we weep. Get separated. Oh, it's happening like this. Yeah, then you'll enjoy. Nothing can affect you that time. So that is what happened. Nanyam gunebhya kartaram. There is no other. Nanya gunebhya kartaram. Kartaram is the doership. When the seer beholds no agent other than the gunas. So who is working? Gunas. So you drive your car. You are thinking you are driving. You came, by 50 miles per hour. Actually, car was running, you were sitting. You never did anything. And nowadays even more clear, automated cars are there. Yeah, just in the beginning you have to command Vedant Center. And then you go to sleep, and when you wake up, now it is Vedant Center. Everything is done by Prakriti. Prakritehe kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha. Guna and karma. Everything is done by Prakriti. Okay, I give another example. Last night you had a dream. And you went to a place, and all of a sudden a tiger appeared, or something, nightmare. And you started weeping also. Then somehow you got out of your dream, or say like somebody came and pushed you, said, get up, now it is time to go. Then the dream is gone. You are detached from that dream. When you are attached with the dream, you are weeping. But if you can come out of that dream, that means while dreaming you understand, it's only a dream. Then nothing can touch you. So this understanding that everything that's happening in front of me, it's only various play of various gunas. The painting in front of me is nothing else but various colors. Only color. And they say, see, such a big tiger, or tender child. Only color. All other things I was supplying. Stop supplying, be detached, nothing can affect you. So, nanya gunebhya kartaram yada drashtanupashyati gunebhyascha param vetti madbhavam sodhigacchati. When the seer beholds no agent other than the gunas. So we are to see this. Whatever is happening, happiness or misery or this and that, all happening in Prakriti because of imbalance of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Nothing belongs to me. I am totally separate than this. So who was the doer? The Prakriti. It's not me. This separation, this identification or disidentification, that will create this situation that I attain to that state. When the seer beholds no agent other than the gunas and knows that which is higher than the gunas, he attains to my being. Nanyam gunebhya kartaram yada drashta anupashyati. Drashta means what? Vichar kushalam. That means who has awakening of viveka, who can separate, who can see correctly what is good, what is bad, what is favorable, what is not favorable, what is eternal, what is temporary. So one has this eye of separation. We also have that. A child comes, says, no, I have not eaten. But you know that he has eaten. And nobody tells you, you know this. So, even, like teachers, they know when a boy or girl is telling a lie, he knows, or she knows that this is a lie. So this is not difficult. We do all the time. When we go for shopping, we don't buy anything and everything. We see what is organic, what is good for my health, what is not expired. All this we examine. Same thing we have to do here. Only thing we have to be careful about choosing something which is not temporary, which is permanent in nature. And we are not to be get influenced by the play of sattva, rajas and tamas. If we get influenced, then we are bound. So, gunan etan atityatrin now comes. When one transcends these three gunas, the embodied one, having gone beyond these three gunas, out of which the body is evolved, is freed from birth, death, decay, and pain, and attains to immortality. So what happens? The embodied one. So now we are embodied. We are embodied. Why embodied? We identify with a body. So gunan etan, these gunans, this sattva, rajas and tamas. Gunan etan atitatrin, dehi deha samudbhavan. Dehi means who is involved in body. So though you are in the body, you can be detached. Like nowadays, the car, self-driving car, you are just sitting. So you have to take a Tesla. So this, what is the point here? Gunan etan atitya trin dehi deha samadbhavan janma mrityu jara dukkha dukkher vimukto amritam ashnoti. So he attains to immortality. What we have to do? We have to separate ourselves from this body. And so it will not happen just like this. No. For that, we need to observe some disciplines. And then in course of time, that will be normal. First, we have to cultivate rajas, then sattva. When sattva cultivated for a long time, then one day we can transcend this. Otherwise, this knowledge is also not bad. This is good. This will help to inspire us to get that state. So the embodiment, the embodied one, having gone beyond these three gunas, when they go beyond this, beyond means they have mastered. They are not affected anymore by these three gunas, though they may appear. Says Sri Ramakrishna. For Sri Ramakrishna, everything of Dakshineshwar and Kolkata is the same as others. But he has transcended. He had transcended those limitations. So he's free. He's moving around. Ramana Maharshi. So all the people other than him is similar. But he transcended himself and he is no more affected by anything else. So that we are to cultivate within ourselves. Gunan etan atitya trin dehi deha samudbhavan. So this happens in the body itself. Ichcha, dvesha, sukham, dukkham, sanghatas, chetana, dhriti. Etat kshetram samashena savikaram udaritam. So what we have to do? Ichcha, desire. We are not to desire. Suppose you have to desire. How to desire? By the will of God, if it happens. Or everything is happening by the will of Mother. And people will give you some appreciate. They will say, oh Swami, you have done this. Yes, it has done by Mother. By the grace of Mother, this happened. So one should learn to get detached from this. And sometimes it looks like our desire, yes. But then one should be able to separate oneself that this is the will of Lord. That's why I feel so strongly. Now my work is to express this. And whatever happens, happens. I'm not attached with it. Ichcha, dvesha. We should not be averse with anyone. Say like most of the time we discuss who is good, who is bad. And then we hate someone, we love someone. If we do, then we are bound. But if we can separate ourselves, then nothing can bind us. Ichcha, dvesha, sukham, dukkham. And sukha dukkha also will come. Bodily pain or bodily enjoyment would come. But one should get rid of the identification with this. Then, okay, people will say, Swami, it's easier said than done. Yes, it is easier. No doubt about it. But either you suffer for eternity or try. Either you get attached with the story in the cinema and you suffer, or you try this. The choice is yours. Ichcha, dvesha, sukham, dukkham, sanghata, chetana, dhriti. Chetana here means identified one. Means not with viveka buddhi. Chetana means like awareness. See, everything is happening, but some are reflected awareness. So here is reflected awareness. And because of that, in reflected say like a dewdrop, sun is reflected in it. And exactly similar sun is visible there. But actually it is not that sun. Sun is separate, eternally shining. So seeing the sun in the dewdrop, we have to find the real sun. Similarly, seeing the awareness consciousness in this body-mind complex, we have to find that real eternal awareness consciousness, which is undiminished, untainted, unchanged all the time. So janma mrityu ichhadesh sukham dukham sanghata chetana dhruti, and holding power. Because that holds, we held something for say 10 years, 20 years. Oh, he insulted me for some trifle 20 years ago. So all this to be discarded. It happened. We cannot go back in time. What to that? Happened. Let me forgive and forget. So this is, if we can do this, then mama sadharma magata gunanita natityatrin dehi deha samudbhavan janma mrityu jara dukkhe vimukto. Then you are totally free from birth, death, old age, suffering. You are totally separate. And you attain immortality. Amritam ashnute. As of now, just now you can experience this. Feel detached from the whole world. No affinity with anything. No family. No world. No condition. You can feel now. So this is not fiction of imagination. It is the real teaching. Only we need to practice this. But what happens as we close our books, so is our knowledge. And it will live here itself, and then we are the same self. As Sri Ramakrishna said, people go for taking bath in Ganga. And the influence of Ganga is such that it repels all the ghosts, all papa, the bad karma. So what they do? They perch in the branches of the tree. And the person, when he comes out of the Ganga, after taking bath, again they jump on his shoulder. So same thing happens to us. So by repeated practice, that will not happen. It is for sure. So we say our prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tassat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. And this is another way. We offer everything to God. So that is another way of detachment. Cultivating detachment.
If one of the problems is of Vivek, non-discrimination, not seeing things as truthfully.
Now, vivek means discrimination.
Yeah, non-discrimination.
And avivek means not discriminating.
Not discriminating, right. But my question is there a way to, like a quick treatment to stop what's going on in your mind? Like, what opposing thought do you raise when you find yourself being attracted to something, or repelled, either one?
Yeah, see, we can see it's a wish of God. A devotee, think about it. I have been put in this situation to see my reaction. So Vivek is must. So there is no shortcut. See here, if you leave Viveka, discrimination, then what will you hold? Aviveka. Aviveka means suffering. By separating yourself, you can be free now. And we do all the time. It's not something which is unknown to us. We do all the time. Even if somebody says, go this way, well, why should I go this way? Why not this way? These are natural questions. And I give example of shopping. That's so palpable. We do all the time. Every time. You see, like when you are cooking, how much salt should I give? If too much or too less? So this is Vivek all the time. Only this Vivek we have to apply to our spiritual life. So, this is quick fix. Vivek is quick fix. Thank you very much.
Namaste, Swami.
Namaste. We have said our prayer, right?